Pam Bondi, former Attorney General of Florida, two-term Attorney General for Florida. She's in her Senate confirmation hearings right now. She's a Donald Trump nominee. And let me tell you something, she is not to be played with. Prior to this, even living in the state of Florida, I really didn't know much about Pam Bondi. And I'm glad. I'm glad now that I do. Because I think this lady is the real deal. I think she is a patriot and she wants justice. And I have to ask, man, these Senate hearings, man, are they always this brutal? I've only seen a few here and there, clips, and of course, they'll get on someone. But what I'm seeing out of Pam Bondi, I'm liking everything that I'm hearing from her. She seems, if you're being objective, she almost seems perfect for the job. So let's get to the next video. And
so let me start with one very specific, non-hypothetical. The president has said Jack Smith should go to jail. Will you investigate Jack Smith?
Senator, I haven't seen the file. I haven't seen the investigation. I haven't looked at anything. It would be irresponsible of me to make a commitment regarding anything without, you're a long practicing attorney, without looking at a file.
So you would need a factual predicate to open an investigation of Jack Smith, is that right?
Not a summary by you sitting here. Yes, sir.
And not a summary by the president either, right?
Absolutely.
So a summary by the president or his desire to investigate Jack Smith would not be enough for you to open an investigation of Jack Smith, is that right?
I will look at the facts and evidence in any case.
And sitting here today,
Senator, 72% of Americans
I only have
have
7
lost
minutes.
faith in the Department of Justice.
Sitting here today, are you aware of any factual predicate to investigate Jack Smith? Sitting here today, yes or no?
Senator, I will look at the facts and the circumstances.
You can't answer that question.
Brought to me.
You're not a part of the department yet. There's no worry about divulging law enforcement sensitive information. So just tell us, are you aware of a factual predicate to investigate Jack Smith? Yes or no?
Senator, what I'm hearing on the news is
Are you aware of
horrible. Do I know if he committed a crime? I have not looked
You seem reluctant to answer a simple question. Let me ask you a different simple question. The president also wants to jail Liz Cheney. Sitting here today, are you aware of any factual basis to investigate Liz Cheney? Yes or no?
Senator, that's a hypothetical, and I'm not going to answer that question.
No, it's not hypothetical. I'm asking you, sitting here today, whether you are aware of a factual predicate to investigate Liz Cheney.
Senator, no one has asked me to investigate Liz Cheney. That is a hypothetical.
The president has called for it publicly. You are aware of that, aren't you?
No one has asked me to investigate.
But the president has
We're also worried about Liz Cheney, Senator.
The president has called for this.
You know what we should be worried about?
Ms. Bondi, please answer my questions.
The crime rate in California right now is through the roof.
Ms. Bondi,
your robberies are 87% higher than the national average.
My question is this.
That's what I want to be focused on, Senator.
Do you have the power to say no to the president? And what you're suggesting today by your non-answer is you don't have the independence to say no to the president. So let me ask you a different question. It also requires you, if you're going to be a good attorney general, to be able to tell hard truth.
Look, don't get mad because she's calling you out about your own state. Man, I love the fact that Pam Bondi is not going to just lay down and just go ahead and take this, okay? She is telling us, she's telling the world, look, you guys are worried about things that are just nonsensical. Your own home state is crime-ridden. You guys, your crime is through the roof. I mean, your state's burning down, and you got the nerve to be sitting here asking me these silly questions. I think they're silly. They want sound bites. We want her to answer the question like this. I mean, I know they're on the clock, but it's just interesting to me. You have politicians who are some of the most long-winded people in the world. They want you to go ahead and give quick answers. No, there needs to be context. It can't just be yes or no. There's got to be some context behind my answers. And some questions aren't even worthy to answer because it's ridiculous. And people can see plain as day that this is just I gotcha moments. We need some sound bites to go ahead and just feed to our left-leaning media to go ahead and put on repeat and talk about for the next 4 years. Let's continue. I'm glad that Pam Bondi fights back. She's not gonna lay down for y'all, man. And that's what you want. This is if you're being objective, this is what you want to be your AG, your Attorney General. You want someone that's going to uphold the law, who's going to fight for the justice of the country and fight for the justice of its citizens. This is what I want.
So my questions now are, can you tell hard truths to the president? So let me start with an easy truth that you could speak to the president. Can you tell him that Donald Trump lost the 2020 election? Can you say that? Do you have the independence to say that? Do you have the gravitas, the stature, the intestinal fortitude to say, Donald Trump, you lost the 2020 election? Can you tell us that here today?
Senator, what I can tell you is I will never play politics. You're trying to engage me in a gotcha. I won't do it.
I'm just asking you a simple
I
question.
won't play
If you can
politics
speak truth
with any ongoing
to power.
investigation,
So let me ask you another.
like you did leaking your colleague Devin Nunes's memo.
If you can't answer the question, let me ask you a different, what should be a simple truth, not a hard one. Was there massive fraud affecting the result of the 2020 election, yes or no?
Senator, I'm glad you asked that question, if you'll let me answer what I saw in Pennsylvania.
No, I asked a simple question about massive fraud.
I can only tell you what I saw in Pennsylvania.
I know you want to answer a different question, but my question is, can you tell us whether there was massive fraud affecting the results of the 2020 election, yes or no? Was there or was there not?
I can tell you what I saw when I went as an advocate to the campaign.
That's not my question. So you can't answer that question. You can't speak that even easy truth to us, let alone to the president. So let me ask you a different question. It will also be important that you give good advice to the president. Are you prepared to advise the president not to pardon people who beat police officers?
Senator, as I said, the pardons are at the direction of the president. We will look and we will advise. I will look at every case on a case. Let me finish. On a case-by-case basis.
Okay, good.
And I abhor violence to police officers.
Follow up with that. So will it be your advice to the president, Mr. President? I know you said you want to issue hundreds of pardons on day one. Will it be your advice to the president? No, Mr. President, I need to go over them on a case-by-case basis. Do not issue blanket pardons. Will that be your advice to the president?
Senator, I have not looked at any of those files. If confirmed, I will look at the files
and
for the pardons, as well
will
as
you
the
be able to
ongoing
review
investigation.
hundreds of cases on day one?
I will look at every file I am asked to look at.
Of course you won't. So will you advise the president?
Can I answer the question?
Well, my question
I
is,
would have plenty of staff. You said, of course you want.
You'll be able to review
Listen, I'm
hundreds
not
of
going to
cases on the first day?
mislead this body, nor you.
All right, let me ask another question. You don't want to answer that. Let me ask
You were
another question.
censured by Congress, Senator, for comments just like this that are so reckless.
It will also be important for you to be able to.
I love Pam Bondi. I love that she fights back and she is going to put your ass on blast. You sitting up here and you being an idiot. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put you on blast. Pam Bondi, man. I'm loving everything I'm seeing. I'm loving everything I'm hearing.
Preserve the records, the evidence of the department. Are you ready to commit that none of the evidence in the January 6th investigation will be destroyed under your watch?
Senator, I will follow the law. I will consult with ethical officials in the
Do
department.
you see any ethical basis to destroy evidence in the January 6th investigation? Then why can't you answer the question? Why can't you say, I commit to this committee, we will never destroy the evidence in the January 6th investigation? Why can't you give this committee and the American people that assurance?
Are you frightened because evidence was destroyed against President Trump that was false? Is that why you're frightened now? I can't believe this is even...
Why do you have difficulty answering that question?
I can't believe you're asking such a question.
Why do you have difficulty promising to preserve evidence at the Department of Justice? Why is that a difficult question?
I will follow the law.
It shouldn't be a difficult question.
She answered the question. I will follow the law. It's just not the soundbite you want. I mean, man, the more and more I dig into politics, the more and more I see that these people are childish, man. Very childish. They have a bunch of angles. It seems like there's always some type of hidden agenda. They are upset that Donald Trump got elected. Okay. That is the main issue here. The main issue here is you guys can't even hide the fact how pissed off you are. You're mad that you have to sit up here and talk to a Donald Trump nominee. And you're upset that she don't take your bullshit. Man, shout out to Pam Bondi, man.